Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Alan Mandell. Today I'm going to share something extremely important for all seniors. 4 powerful nighttime juices that help restore vision, support your memory, calm inflammation, and nourish the brain and eyes while you sleep. Most seniors don't realize that as the body ages, the eyes and brain begin to whisper warnings long before they shout them. Vision dims a little at night, words slip from memory a little faster, focus drifts a little easier, and slowly, almost silently, the body begins to lose what it once protected effortlessly. But here is the truth that shocks most people over 60. Your eyes and your memory are not failing because you're getting older. Much of it is because your cells are starving for the nutrients they once received easily in your younger years, and one of the simplest ways to feed those starving cells is through targeted, nutrient-dense juices that deliver what your aging eyes and brain are desperately asking for. When researchers studied the retinas of aging adults, they found something stunning. A deficiency in carotenoids like beta-carotene and lutein accelerates retinal damage almost 3 times faster. This is where the carrot and orange combination becomes a quiet hero. Every sip brings beta-carotene, vitamin A, and vitamin C straight into the bloodstream like liquid repair. Beta-carotene is not just a vitamin. It is the molecule that stands guard over your rods and cones, the tiny receptors responsible for night vision, detail vision, and color recognition. When seniors report that they can no longer see clearly at dusk or headlights blind them on the road, researchers often trace it not to disease, but to years of low vitamin A absorption. But the moment that carotenoid levels rise, the retina begins strengthening again, protecting itself from the oxidative stress that weakens vision. And oranges, with their high vitamin C content, play an equally powerful role. Vitamin C supports the collagen structure inside the eye, stabilizes blood vessels, and fights the oxidative damage that leads to cataracts. Scientists discovered that adults who consume vitamin C-rich foods daily had a 33% lower risk of cataract progression than those who didn't. That's not a small number. That's the difference between watching your grandchildren grow and watching the world blur into fog. When seniors drink this juice at night, the body absorbs these nutrients more efficiently because the digestive system slows down and focuses on repair work instead of constant processing. While you sleep, those vitamin A molecules bind to the retina, nourishing it. The vitamin C strengthens the delicate tissues behind the eye, and without any effort from you, your vision slowly begins to regain clarity. That first juice repairs the eyes, but the second juice works deep inside the brain. Tart cherry juice is one of the few foods on earth that contains naturally occurring melatonin, not synthetic, not artificial, natural. And melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. Neuroscientists discovered that melatonin acts as a neuroprotective antioxidant, shielding brain cells from the inflammation that leads to cognitive decline. Seniors who drink tart cherry juice before bed often report something surprising. They sleep deeper, they wake up calmer, and their memory feels clearer in the morning. That's not a coincidence, it's biology. During deep sleep, the brain performs something called memory consolidation. It takes your daily experiences, your conversations, your thoughts, and organizes them like files on a shelf. But when sleep is shallow or broken, this process collapses and memory slips through the cracks. Tart cherry juice, with its melatonin and anthocyanins, helps restore this nighttime repair cycle. Clinical studies show that older adults who drank tart cherry juice before bed slept an average of 84 minutes longer and experienced less nighttime restlessness. And better sleep isn't just about energy. The brain uses deep sleep to remove harmful proteins associated with memory loss. This means every night you drink tart cherry juice, you are giving your brain a deeper cleaning, a deeper restoration, and a deeper chance to protect your long-term memory. Then we move to something few seniors imagine could help them: beet and apple juice. Beets are a powerhouse of natural nitrates. Inside your body, nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a gas that expands blood vessels and improves circulation. Why does that matter? Because the brain and eyes depend on strong blood flow to function. When blood flow decreases with age, the brain receives less oxygen. Less oxygen means slower thinking, weaker memory, and more confusion. The eyes receive less oxygen as well, which speeds up retinal aging. But studies from the University of Exeter found that after drinking beet juice, seniors had significantly increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the region responsible for focus, decision-making, and memory. That means clearer thinking, sharper mental processing, and a brain that functions the way it's meant to. The apple in this juice smooths digestion and provides quercetin, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory nutrients linked to reduced risk of neurodegenerative disorders. Combine apple with beet, and you create a brain-boosting, eye-supporting tonic that works while you sleep. The final juice, blueberry, is one of the most scientifically studied brain foods on the planet. Blueberries contain anthocyanins, compounds proven to cross the blood-brain barrier and repair damaged neurons. In fact, when scientists performed brain scans on older adults who consume blueberries daily, they saw improved communication between brain cells. That's not a theory. That's visible, measurable improvement. Blueberries also protect the retina from UV damage and oxidative stress. Seniors who consume blueberry juice regularly often notice improved contrast sensitivity, sharper reading vision, and better visual processing. But the most shocking discovery, anthocyanins actually help regenerate the photoreceptor cells in the retina. These are the cells that allow you to see light. As we age, these cells die. Blueberries help them recover. And when taken before bed, blueberry juice bathes the body in antioxidants during the very hours when your eyes and brain repair at their highest rate. These 4 juices, carrot orange, tart cherry, beet apple, and blueberry, are not trends, not fads, not miracles. They are the return of nutrients your aging cells desperately need. They are the biological tools your body uses to slow aging, sharpen memory, and protect vision from degeneration. And the reason they are so powerful at night is simple. Nighttime is when the body finally stops fighting the world and begins healing itself. Seniors who embrace this nightly routine often describe it the same way. It feels like my body finally woke up again, because when you restore the nutrients your eyes and brain have been missing for decades, your body responds with clarity, strength, and resilience. And the truth is this: you are never too old to nourish your cells, never too old to support your memory, and never too old to restore the vision that lets you see the world with confidence again. Sleep. Most people don't realize that the body's greatest healing does not happen during the day. It happens in the quiet, unseen hours of the night when the world goes silent and the body finally stops fighting gravity, stress, and constant stimulation. And yet, for millions of seniors, these healing hours are slipping away. Sleep becomes lighter. The mind becomes noisier. Nighttime becomes a battlefield instead of a sanctuary. But science has revealed something extraordinary. When seniors nourish the body before sleep with the right nutrients, especially those found in these 4 juices, the nighttime healing system awakens again. These juices don't work because of magic. They work because they support the natural repair cycles that the body is desperately trying to run, but cannot complete without the proper fuel. Neuroscientists discovered that during deep sleep, the brain engages in something called glymphatic flushing, a nightly detox that removes harmful proteins linked to memory loss and cognitive decline. But here is the shocking truth. Older adults often experience up to a 60% reduction in this cleansing ability simply because they're not sleeping deeply enough. And the reason they're not sleeping deeply is often tied to inflammation, oxidative stress, and deficiencies in the very nutrients these juices contain. Melatonin, anthocyanins, vitamin A, nitrates, these are not buzzwords. These are molecular keys that unlock the brain and eyes' nighttime repair mechanisms. Without them, the body cannot complete its necessary maintenance, and the consequences show up as memory slips, visual blurring, confusion, mood swings, and chronic fatigue. But when seniors reintroduce these nutrients before bed, something remarkable begins to happen. The brain gradually starts entering deeper sleep cycles again, not because of sedation, but because inflammation drops, oxygen delivery improves, and the circadian rhythm stabilizes. Studies show that when melatonin levels rise naturally from tart cherry juice, older adults spend longer in restorative sleep stages, the very stages where the brain forms new memories, repairs damaged neurons, and clears toxic waste. And this is critical because memory is not restored while you're awake. It's restored while you're unconscious, when your brain reorganizes experiences, strengthens neural pathways, and rebuilds connections weakened by aging. But memory is only one part of the story. Vision is equally dependent on nighttime repair. The retina works harder than almost any part of the body during the day. It is constantly absorbing light, projecting images, adjusting to focus, and processing thousands of visual messages every single second. And the damage it accumulates from sunlight, oxidative stress, and strain can only be repaired while you sleep. Research published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science shows that the retina's photoreceptor cells regenerate most efficiently in darkness during the first 2 cycles of sleep. But they can only regenerate if there are enough carotenoids, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory molecules available. This is why carrot orange juice at night becomes more than a drink. It becomes a supply line for your retinal cells. Beta-carotene begins its conversion into vitamin A. Vitamin C begins repairing the collagen matrix behind the eyes, and antioxidants begin neutralizing the oxidative stress that accumulated during the day. Seniors who drink these juices before bedtime aren't just nourishing their bodies, they're giving their cells the raw materials they need to rebuild themselves during the only hours they have the chance to do so. The same goes for blood flow. As we age, the blood vessels delivering oxygen to the brain and eyes become stiff, restricted, and slow. But when you consume beet juice in the evening, your body begins converting nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that widens blood vessels and increases circulation. Scientists discovered something astonishing. Nitric oxide peak production occurs during sleep. That means beet juice enhances the body's natural nighttime ability to deliver oxygen to damaged tissues. In one clinical study, seniors drinking nitrate-rich beet juice experienced increased blood flow specifically to the frontal lobe, the center for memory, focus, and decision-making. This means that while they slept, their most important cognitive functions received more oxygen, more nutrients, and more energy to repair themselves. Now imagine combining that with blueberry juice, which carries anthocyanins capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier. These compounds search for damaged neurons like guided missiles and begin repairing them from the inside. Brain scans show that adults who consume blueberries consistently develop stronger neural connections and faster signaling between brain cells. While you sleep, these anthocyanins act like microscopic electricians, restoring communication lines that aging has frayed. Vision benefits too. Blueberry antioxidants help regenerate the rods and cones responsible for clarity and contrast. They reduce inflammation around the optic nerve. They rebuild weakened retinal tissues. But none of this can happen while you're awake. It only happens when the body is still, only when the eyes are closed, only when sleep begins. The power of these juices is not merely in their nutrients, it's in the timing. When consumed before bed, they align perfectly with the body's circadian repair clock. The brain uses them to enhance memory consolidation. The retina uses them to regenerate photoreceptors. The blood vessels use them to expand and deliver oxygen. The detox system uses them to clear inflammation. And the sleep cycle uses them to restore balance. Without these nighttime nutrients, the body fights a losing battle. With them, the body returns to a natural rhythm of healing that aging has disrupted but never destroyed. Seniors who adopt this nighttime routine often describe the change as if something inside them reawakened. They start remembering details more clearly. They wake up with less pressure behind the eyes. Their morning vision sharpens. Their sleep becomes deeper, calmer, and more restorative. And slowly, the subtle signs of aging that once felt inevitable begin to reverse. Because the truth is simple, the body has not forgotten how to heal. It has only been waiting for the nourishment it needs to do the job it was designed to do. And every night you provide that nourishment, your body repairs itself with the quiet determination it has had since the day you were born. Most seniors never realize how something as simple as a nightly routine can determine whether their brain sharpens or declines, whether their vision strengthens or fades, whether their body repairs itself or quietly falls apart. But researchers studying aging have discovered a truth so powerful it changes how we think about senior health. Small, consistent nightly habits create more healing than any pill, supplement, or treatment taken sporadically. The body is wired for routine. The circadian rhythm, the internal 24-hour clock controlling sleep, hormones, repair, detoxification, and even memory, depends on repetition to function correctly. And when that rhythm breaks, health breaks with it. But when seniors follow a predictable nightly ritual with nutrient-dense juices, the body responds with extraordinary biological improvements. Not because the juices are magical, but because consistency unlocks the body's dormant repair systems. Scientists at Harvard found that when older adults follow the same pre-sleep routine for just 14 days, inflammation markers drop, cortisol levels stabilize, and deep sleep increases. That means a simple nightly juice ritual can align the body's internal rhythms, restore hormonal balance, and trigger repair mechanisms that aging has dulled. And when these routines are paired with juices rich in antioxidants, nitrates, and brain-supporting phytochemicals, the effects multiply dramatically. Seniors who stick to a nightly schedule experience sharper morning focus, improved eye moisture, stronger memory recall, and better sleep quality, all because consistency amplifies the bioactive compounds these juices deliver. This is why rotating one juice per night becomes so powerful. Carrot orange one night feeds the retina with vitamin A. Tart cherry another night restores melatonin and brain antioxidants. Beet apple boosts circulation and oxygen delivery during nighttime repair. Blueberry floods the brain with anthocyanins that rebuild neural connections. Each juice targets a different system, but it's the routine, night after night, that allows each system to fully repair itself. Because healing is not an event, it is a rhythm. Studies published in Neurobiology of Aging show that the brain needs repeated exposure to antioxidants to rebuild damaged neural pathways. One serving is not enough. One attempt is not enough. But when seniors nourish their brains consistently, even in tiny amounts, neuronal plasticity increases. The brain becomes more flexible, more alert, more capable of forming fresh memories even later in life. The same pattern appears in eye health. Researchers discovered that the retina relies